here we are at the end of the week, Friday the 19th of November 2021. Welcome along to our little chat show today, boys and girls. And I'm very pleased to see those very, very annoying people from Insulate Britain are now in prison. Well done to the judge on that one. There they all are. That's just before they went in, I think. Now, these are the people who have been blocking up all our roads and creating all sorts of mayhem. That's just some of them there. And all of them have been shoved in prison. Now, as I said a few shows ago, I think we're all on the side of what they're trying to do. But in my mind, and a lot of other people, they're going about it the wrong way. Even if you kind of accepted the fact that, all right, you're blocking up the roads, but we get what you do, you may still well have been on their side. But the moment they lost me was when there were people asking to get their relatives, husbands, wives, wherever, through the blockade to a hospital to get treatment. And the answer of these idiots was, we're sorry, but... And they wouldn't let them through. I'm surprised no one got really angry and just run them over. That's really surprised me. I think that would have happened eventually because people were so fed up on it. You remember the lady with the little boy as she was trying to get a little boy to school. I mean, okay, fair enough. But it's not kind of on the same sort of level as you trying to take your parents to have some sort of cancer treatment or worse, is it? That's when you lost the public. And I haven't found a single person who agrees with these people, these blooming Insulate Britain people, who, as I say, you know, I get what they're trying to do. I get that. You're just going about it the wrong way. And the wrong way is not to disrupt tens of thousands of people's... I mean, just look at them. Well, it makes a change that you've dressed up. You usually look like a bunch of dirty old tramps. Awful. Awful. Anyway, they're all banged up now. Thank you very much. Perhaps that will make the rest of them think twice about doing something like that. Daily Mail. Here we go. 2 activists, where are we? 9 Insulate Britain eco-zealots will be in prison for Christmas after being jailed today at the High Court for breaching an injunction designed to prevent their M25 road blockades, which caused 2 months of chaos. How many people weren't able to go and visit people? How many people were blocked from getting an aeroplane? Ow, but we're trying to save the planet. Yes, but you can't do it like that. You can't block people's right of passage this way, that way and the other. How many of you have got solar panels on your roof or bought electric cars or stuff like that? I bet none of you have you? None of you have. 2 of the activists, it says here, were jailed for 3 months. A further 6 were in prison for 4 months. And a 9th received 6 months after boasting he would immediately block the motorway again if not imprisoned. Now, of course, these are people that are probably, I would imagine, aren't used to that sort of thing. In the same breath as probably you are not used to, like, being in courts and prisons, other than perhaps, I don't know, divorces and maybe, probably that's the only thing you'll ever see not in a prison, in a court, you know. But my guess is these people haven't really had much dealings with courts before this, right? And certainly not in prison. They don't look the sort of person that would be in prison. They don't go around burgling or nicking people. So this will be a big shock to them. I mean, it really will. I gather one of them's gone on hunger strike, which we must thank them for that. You know, because if you're not going to eat, you're not going to create so much methane, are you? Perhaps that's a new way of doing your little thing, my love. All of you stop eating, all the Insulate people stop eating, and then not so much methane will be... Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Enjoy that while you can, my love. Enjoy that while you can. Anyway, that's that story there. Don't know what you think of that. Perhaps you thought that they were doing the right thing. That is the right way of going about something, is it? Stopping people's right to passage to wherever they're going to. Certainly if they're going to a hospital or something important like that, feel free to put a little comment under there. I'll always read it, even if it doesn't agree with what I agree with. I'll read out your comments. All right, my loves. Or, of course, you can use the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Especially if you've never spoken to me before. Leave a comment. Just say hello if you want to. And that's all right. All righty. Another little thing that I watched on the telly last night, and I must admit, I only watched a few moments of it. My mate was over here last night. And that was Megan Markle on Ellen DeGeneres. Is it DeGeneres? Degenerate? Something like that. Oh, okay. She's the one with loads of staff who don't like her. Do you remember that story? Ellen DeGeneres. What's her name? DeGeneres? DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres, that American talk show host. And all these members of her staff, her studio team, wrote about her and told us all how awful she was to work with. You know, to be fair to her, a lot of entertainers are a bit like that. They want their show to look a certain way, and if you're not pulling your weight, I kind of get that a bit. But there were too many of them, you know. There was a lot of people moaning about how horrible she was to them. We don't know really, because we're not there, you know. I've seen some divas in my time, my dears. Oh my God, blimey. And they tend to be people that haven't made it. The people that have made it are generally really nice. And I've worked over the years with some lovely people. The Nolans were lovely, all of them, before sadly 2 of them died. The Nolans, Beverly Sisters, Supremes, Bucks Fizz, the bloke from Dollar, loads of people over the years. The ones that hadn't quite make it, amateur drag queens, shall we say, we'll just leave it at that, no names mentioned, amateur drag queens who just vile, absolutely vile, to the point where you just don't want to work with them. You know, funny really, isn't it? But yeah, Megan and Ellen had Megan on her show. I'm sorry, you know, she got Megan to wear an earpiece, and she went out to do some shopping. Oh, wow. And what she did while she was shopping was stupid things that if I did it, or perhaps one of those Z-list celebrities like Gemma Collins or someone like that, if we went out and did it, it'd be quite funny, you know. This is supposed to be the Duchess of Sussex, isn't it? Duchess of Sussex is doing it. That is her title, isn't it? I can't even remember now. Megan Markle, whatever her title is, she's supposed to be. I mean, for her to be doing that sort of thing, I think. Do I remember her? It's a while. Do you know? It's so unmemorable that it's not in my head. I think she got her to meow like a cat as well. I don't know. Hang on a minute. Let me just do a quick search. I can't remember now. Megan Cat. I don't know. Megan Cat. No, I don't know. Megan Cat. No, I don't know. I don't know. But I certainly saw her looking at these items on a table outside. It was a bit like a craft fair or something like that. And she's holding this thing up to her face and crouching down like that. And I thought, oh, come on, lady. Honestly. Anyone see that? Again, if you did see it, what did you think of it? Stick a comment under the bottom there, or send us an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Talking of royal, and this is proper royal, Her Majesty, thank you very much. We have a picture over there, which you can just about see on camera 3. There we are. Can you just about see that? Just about there. The pink picture of Her Majesty. Yes. Yes, we are big fans of Her Majesty on this programme, as you well know. Well, In the Sun is reporting yesterday Her Majesty looks set to gift all 1,500 members of her staff the same present. She gives presents to 1,500 people. Here. And you were worried about buying 10, weren't you? The same present following the tradition which was started by her grandfather, George V. Isn't that nice? I don't know, do all 1,500 people actually meet her? I don't know. The annual event sees the Queen present each member of staff with a Christmas pudding, though the tradition did not take place until last year due to the pandemic. The royal family website confirms this, saying all members of the household are giving a Christmas pudding by the Queen. I wonder if she sits there making it, does she? You know. You can see her when she's a bit bored. Oh, I think I'm going to go down to the kitchen today and make some Christmas puddings. Puts a scarf on, starts, you know, la la, possibly a woodbine hanging out of her mouth while she's stirring the mixture. William, quick, come here. Yeah, quick, have some of that cake mix. Go on. Sticks his feet. Oh, William's eating the cake mix. Kate will be standing there. Like, they're lovely, aren't they, those two? William and Kate. Don't you think they're like proper royals? Well, they are. I mean, what a stupid thing that I said. They are proper royals, aren't they? Anyway, it says about 1,500 Christmas puddings paid for by the Queen through the Privy Purse are distributed to staff throughout the palaces, staff in the court post office and the palace police. Each pudding is accompanied by a greeting card. Now, you know, I don't suppose for one moment that she sits there and writes every card out and puts the stamp on, or you know, but that's not the point. You know, wouldn't it be nice, like people who are, oh, I'm so sorry, people who are centennials, people who go over 100 years old, is that gone a bit quiet now? What have I done to that now? God blimey, it's all falling apart in here. This is so old. All this stuff is really old now. Yeah, what is centennials, I think it is, people over 100 years old. And they get a telegram from the Queen, don't they? Now, again, she's not sitting there writing them all out. I expect there's quite a few that go out now. People live to a lot higher, older age than they used to, don't they? You know? But to actually receive that, you know, happy, I don't know what it says, happy 100th birthday from the Queen, to receive that in your hand, don't you think that's something special? I really do. I hope I get one. I don't suppose it'd be from our Queen, though. It'd be from Charlie Boy or maybe William. Because I was surprised the other day at how old Charles is. I think he's in his 70s. Now, I've just found that thing about Meghan Markle. Here we go. In The Sun, Meghan Markle has pretended to be a cat and sang meow, meow, meow in a cringe-worthy Ellen sketch, which I was just telling you about. The Duchess of Sussex, I was right, at 40, was forced to put on kitten ears and sing the chant during the side-splitting Ellen DeGeneres show prank. You see, I didn't find it funny. I found it embarrassing. Embarrassing that the royal family has now got someone doing that. You wouldn't expect them to do it, would you? I mean, you wouldn't. Awful. Awful. Anyway, type in Meghan Markle, Ellen DeGeneres. 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 Type in those two and you'll be able to watch that, all right? You just don't expect someone like Meghan to be doing something like that. It reminds me of an old, a very, very old video clip of Margaret Thatcher being interviewed, possibly by someone in the Scandinavian states, I think, or maybe Holland. Can't remember now. Type in Margaret Thatcher jump into YouTube and you'll see it. If you've got time, watch the long version. And she has this whole long interview with this, I'm sure it's Dutch, with this Dutch interviewer, and it gets quite heated in parts. And at the end of it, the woman asks Margaret Thatcher to do a little jump. And Margaret Thatcher is so horrified that she's actually asked, and I beg your pardon, she goes. And it reminds me, you wouldn't catch her doing anything like what Meghan Markle's done. You know, these are very serious roles. The royal family is a very serious role. Yeah, they have a little bit of a laugh now and again, but generally, you know, you just don't expect people to do that. Anyway, as always, your comments under there, my love. I had a very busy day yesterday. Of course, it was my mum's 21-year anniversary. So yesterday morning, I went to Mass at church, Corpus Christi in Wokingham, which was lovely. Then I went to the grave, put some little flowers on there. Oh, actually, before I went to church, because that was a 10 o'clock mass yesterday, I went to the garden centre, which is on the way to the church, Squire's Garden Centre in Wokingham, which opens at 9. So I thought, well, I'll leave nice and early, then I can get that in as well. I bought a few, I think 3 lots of plants for £10. You know, little pansy, winter pansy type things. That's all I bought in there. And then I went to church, and then from there I went to the grave, which is Putney Vale Cemetery, and put the plants in. It looks like an animal or something had dug up all the old plants. I gather that's quite a normal thing. It was a bit messy. It looked like someone had dug loads of little bits and things out. So it must have been an animal looking for bulbs, I would imagine, or something like that. Anyway, I smoothed it all over, put the plants in. Also, I got some flowers from Asda, because Putney Vale Cemetery is literally right behind an Asda. So that's quite handy as well. So I went in there and got some flowers as well. And then from there, I went to the top. On the way home, I thought, you know what? I'll go to a Toby carvery on the way home. So I found a Toby carvery in Ewell, E-W-E-L-L it is. A couple of pictures of me there, looking at the... I don't know why I look at the main menu. I had the mushroom and owl pie. And there it is. Look, it's a bit big. Now, those things that look like ears, believe it or not, that's the Yorkshire pudding. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. See the size of that pie? Look at the size of that pie there. It'll come round again in a minute. And that lot... just a touch over, I think it was about £10 something. All that and a cup of tea just comes to sort of over £10. So, you know, why oh why you want to go down to Kentucky Fried Bleeding Chicken and get a cardboard bucket and just sauces and all that? Why do people prefer that to having that? Look at that. Look at all those potatoes. It was delicious. Delicious. The thing is, going there, of course, the food is so substantial that I couldn't possibly have had a pudding afterwards. I really couldn't. It was too much. And they said, would you like to look at the swing? No, I can't move. Got back in the car. No problem at all with traffic at all yesterday. And on the way back, I popped into Ronnie's house and I popped into Sainsbury's actually get a cake. A couple of cake, not a cake, you know, like the Mr. Kipling slices. I got a couple of boxes of those, and we had that yesterday afternoon. And I came home and had a sleep, and then it was night time again. And last night, and I should have recorded this. I should tape this. I just cut my hair, as you may or may not have noticed. Just cut my hair, and before I did it, I thought I'd read somewhere that you should keep your cutting thing, what you know, that thing, trimmer, shaver, what's that called now? Clippers. Keep your clippers clean. So I decided I'd take it apart. I shouldn't have done that, really. Not really. There were 2 screws. I thought, well, how difficult can this be? There were 2 screws, and I undone one screw, and when I undid the other screw, the whole thing just pop, off it went. And these 2 wire things appeared. I thought, what on earth are they for? It took me ages to put the bastard thing back together again, I tell you. What I did is I watched a YouTube video, and it wasn't clear by that. But these 2 things, I'm trying to slot the piece of metal onto these 2 things. What I didn't realise is that they were actually springs. And you have to put the metal down onto, and then push the springs back down. And then somehow get these other 2 screws in. It comes in like 2 bits. 2, like... I don't know what it is, like a comb thing and like another thing underneath there, and you have to get it the right way round. Anyway, so I put it all back together. It was making a funny noise at first, but then it settled down and it seems to have worked all right. I'm like a child, aren't I, really, with this stuff? You know, anyone as a child take something apart, like an old valve radio. Bet now that never worked again, did it? Huh? Oh, well. Was that all I was going to talk about today? Yeah, I think it was, actually. Okay, some of your messages coming up now, boys and girls. Apologies to Mark Bowles. Now, Mark Bowles enjoyed the programme of the putting the thing around the seal around the hob there. That was on Wednesday's show, wasn't it? Wednesday's show. He says, the scissors cracked me up. Still no shout out, dear. Excuse me, you've had a couple of messages on this show, Mark, which indicates to me you're not watching them all. Very disappointed, Mark. Very disappointed. You're just about... I don't know if I should do this or not. I will. I'll just about show your picture. There you go. There's my Mark. I mean, he's with a girl at the moment and his 2 boys, but he is actually mine. There he is. That's my Mark Bowles. Isn't he gorgeous? Thank you, Mark. But very disappointed. You're clearly not watching all the shows. Just one here and there. Otherwise, you would know that you've been mentioned. Thank you very much, dear. Now you'll have to watch all the... No, I'm not telling you which ones. No, you watch them yourself. Not telling you. Not telling you. Watch them yourself. You have to find out which one... And for the next show, tell me which shows that you get mentioned in. Then I know that you've watched them. Otherwise... Thank you, Mark. Hello to George Bond, who thinks I should do a live stream at Christmas. Thank you, George. Hello to Boot Camp for Diva-licious Kings and Queens. I like the sound of that. Hello to you. Just sending a little love heart there. Thank you very much for your little love heart. All right. John Parrish. Hi, Chris. The egg photo that he sent yesterday was just an excuse to tell Sherry how I feel about her. What, you think she's an egg? Strange thing to say. How does she feel about thinking that she's an egg? Is that what you're saying now, my love? You are correct. She's even better inside than outside, if that's possible. She is. She's the one. I can feel it. I can feel the warmth of Sherry, even though I've never met her. The driver, we were talking about the deliveries from supermarkets. And I was asking what happens if they substitute something and you don't want it. And he says the driver does indeed tell you about the substitutes. So it's easy when they get there. So you just tell them to take it back again. You are correct. There's a box, Asda, where you can tick substitutes or not. I just like being waited on, he says. Thank you very much. And Diane Jebb. Thank you, Diane. I know what you mean about missing your mum, Chris. On the 26th of this month, it's 5 years that my mum passed away. And like you, I miss my mum so much and talk to her all the time. Oh, yes, Diane. I mean, I can be certainly every night in bed, every single night without fail, and also at random times. Walking around the house, maybe sitting there playing the piano. Any time I just start rabbiting onto her. In the car. So you do the same, do you, Diane? Not surprised. I'm sure a lot of people do, my love. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Diane says she lived with me so I could care for her when she got really ill. And before that, we spoke every day and never went to bed without saying goodnight. I lost my dad the same year too. Oh, broken heart. Don't you think? He may... I don't know if your dad had an illness, Diane. That's none of my business, really. But really, we know, don't we? Broken heart. Died of a broken heart. My mum was the same. You know, my father and her were together years and years and years and years. And when he died, she was never ill, my mum, really. When my father died, she kept having a little head problems, shall we say. Head problems, which were never there before. And they started so quickly. And broken heart. That's what it is, broken heart. Like the Queen at the moment. I think she's got a totally broken heart, and sometimes it can't be fixed. Sometimes it's just gone on. You just can't fix it, can you? The Dark Side says, as for electric, I'm in the deep countryside and don't have gas. He had oil. And they just stuck this new air source heating in. And man, my electric bills have gone up to £45 a week. Yes, a lot of people don't realise that. If you're going to replace it, you know, you don't get nothing for nothing, Dark Side. You know? A lot of people think, oh, well, it would be so much cheaper. No, of course your electric bills are going to go up. The question is your electric bill, you know, taking what it was before and what it is now? Now, what's the difference? Is the difference £45? Or is it now £45? What part of that is your air source heat pump? I wonder. And of course there are, as I've mentioned before, there are air source heat pumps and there are air source heat pumps. I mean, is yours feeding radiators? I wonder, which would be air to water, I think that's called. The one in here and in my bedroom and the ones at the caravan are air to air. So I'd have to, but remember, I've still got a gas boiler and all that there. So sorry to hear that. If you've got a bit of money, Dark Side, I don't know what your sort of financial situations like. Solar panels, that would help with that, certainly. That would certainly help with that. All right. And Dark Side also says, I used to pass through Bracknell every so often. Few nice roads. I'm from Aldershot, but live in the Norfolk Broads now, which are pretty much every other village has a group of old folk with a speed gun, and you get one warning and then boom in court. Excellent news. Excellent. I wouldn't give a warning for them. No, nick them straight away. No warnings. No warnings. Send them down, governor. Like the Insulate Britain people. Bye-bye. Send them down. And Peter Paliwoda. Hello, Peter. Long time no hear. He says, Killer Scissors, Captain Blunder, DIY SOS. The world loves a trier. Good luck, Peter. Good luck, says Peter. Thank you very much, sir. Never mind. We try. And as I say, we try. And the world loves a trier. That's what Peter said. That's what Peter said. Thanks so much for joining us on the show. Another one for you probably on Monday. I think our next show for you will be on Monday, all right? Have a lovely weekend. I'll be hosting karaoke on Friday and Saturday this week. That'll be at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. There you go. Free entry, 7:30 to 11 o'clock. Karaoke every Friday and Saturday at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. See you soon. Bye.